The 2010s EDM phase is a divisive time period. There are various catchy, enjoyable songs to come from that era, but a lot of people would argue that the bad outweighed the good, and it's kind of hard to disagree. There was a point where a majority of the hits from that era began to sound extremely homogeneous, with a very predictable EDM drop in place of a chorus, along with similar melodies and productions. It wasn't all bad though. We got songs like We Found Love and When Love Takes Over. David Guetta and Calvin Harris especially ruled the big EDM bangers phase. But for every gem, there were a million cheap sounding vapid imitations that could never seem to nail the formula quite well. And then there was Icona Pop and Charli XCX with I Love It, who not only nailed the formation of an EDM banger, but made something so incredibly distinctive. There was no other song on the radio that sounded quite like I Love It. It goes hard. The bass and synths never stop. It's a maximalist touchstone of its era. While Charli XCX has sustained industry relevancy through her progressive works, as well as being a prolific songwriter, Icona Pop never seemed to pick up the same momentum. Icona Pop is a pretty daring name for a group, but who exactly were they? What happened to them? And what was their relation to Charli XCX? Icona Pop is from Sweden, which makes sense. Their sound is very European, and Swedes have a very good reputation with hooky pop music. The group has two members, Aino Jawa and Caroline Helt. Their formation reads like a perfect classic tale. They went to the same school and met at a party. Considering the style of their music, how could they meet anywhere else besides a party? It's just so fitting. Apparently, Caroline threw a party because she was depressed about the state of her music career. Their energy was so magnetic that they formed a duo the next day, and 2 days later, they did their first gig together. The show sold out and landed them a management deal. It wouldn't be a few years later until they landed I Love It, which came at the hands of Charli XCX. Charli XCX strongly disliked I Love It while she was writing it. In fact, she's quoted saying she thought it was the worst song ever. She wrote it in 20 minutes, and her boyfriend told her it was a bad song, so she stopped working on it. Icona Pop and Charli XCX knew each other years prior, but it wasn't until they shared common producers that they actually began collaborating musically. The song was presented to Icona Pop and they loved it. They decided to make it sound a bit rougher. I Love It is a song that ignited extreme reactions, but was largely critically praised. And it's the song that put both Charli XCX and Icona Pop on the map. The song is filled with fun, bratty, and memorable quotables. The most remarkable being, "You're from the 70s, but I'm a 90s bitch." And the exuberant chorus and verses are also equally remarkable. "I got this feeling on a summer day when you were gone. I crashed my car into the bridge. I watched I let it burn. I threw your shit into a bag and pushed it down the stairs. I crashed my car into a bridge. I don't care. I love it." This song is like if the Spice Girls did rave music. There's just so much energy and it's so fun. It's a crowning jewel of brat pop. They sound so bratty, but in the best way possible. I Love It was a worldwide hit, reaching the top position on the charts in the UK, and the top 10 in the US, as well as various other high-peaking positions throughout global music charts. Following the success of I Love It, Icona Pop released their second album, simply titled This Is Icona Pop, which seemed to serve as the official introduction to them after they achieved new visibility, despite them releasing their debut album in 2012. They were very fashionable and Tumblr friendly. The album was well received, and although not having another song as massive as I Love It, there's no energy or catchiness lost throughout the album. It's like a big party playlist. And I actually do think that they topped I Love It with another song taken from the album called All Night. It has a killer chorus, it captures an anthemic feel extremely well, and the entire song is basically one big sing-along. It's a little less in your face than I Love It, but it's still high quality pop. And it did achieve a moderate amount of success. Songs such as We Got the World and Girlfriend also achieved some success in their home country of Sweden. A good propeller for a lot of their visibility was that their songs appeared in various shows, movies, and commercials, from The Vampire Diaries to Girls to commercials for Samsung and Coca-Cola. After the release of their debut album, they did a lot of touring, opening for One Direction, Katy Perry, and Miley Cyrus. In 2015, they released Emergency, which was also a popular hit in Sweden. And they've continued to release standalone singles throughout the years, You might have also heard one of their songs on the Trolls soundtrack. But what exactly is the reason that they didn't release an album in over a decade? There doesn't seem to be any big controversy about their lack of output. According to Icona Pop, they've just been busy touring throughout these years. Once the pandemic happened, the live gigs were gone, so they were able to refocus a lot of their attention towards creating music. In 2019, they secured another record deal with Ultra Music, which is known for housing releases from other dance, EDM, and rave-centric acts, such as Kygo and David Guetta. As far as their personal lives, Caroline and Ino remain very close and best friends. In fact, in 2021, they were both pregnant at the exact same time. Icona Pop are party girls, they're rave girls, they're dance music girls. Not exactly the type fit for prolonged pop superstardom. And I don't think that matters to them anyway. They still have a niche and cult following and stick to their bread and butter. But one thing's for sure, people still love I Love It, and they've said every time they perform it live, they get what they describe as the fuck it feeling and reception from the crowd, which is actually a nice way to describe the energy of the song. It definitely has that energy. The people still love it, and according to their own account, they still don't care.